Earlier this week, went on the Today Show. One of the anchors ended up running the NYC Marathon, and luckily I was able to give her some small inspiration on the road to doing that. We talked about some different moves that you could do to alleviate muscle soreness, but you can go a little bit further than that, and that's what we're gonna talk about today. Muscle soreness, or delayed onset muscle soreness, is probably what you're having. Some people don't fully know why we have it. It might be a muscle thing, but it also might be a nervous system thing. So we're gonna talk about some ways, with the first one up, what I want you to get more of, I know you hear it all the time, is sleep. Number one, why is sleep important? Sleep is important for a various amount of reasons. Again, it helps regulate our hormones. It helps increase growth hormone also release, which might help in muscle repair, of course. And also everybody's favorite, melatonin. Melatonin was studied in some rat models, however you want to feel about that, whatever, but it showed that melatonin dosage did help reduce muscle soreness and muscle damage in the rats, or the mice. We have no rats on this side. All you want to say with that is, utilize simple practices that will get the most out of sleep. So in the lead up after the marathon, what do we focus on? Reducing artificial light at night. We've talked about that a lot. Maybe you take in some tart cherry juice, which is a natural melatonin source to help you get that good sleep. Or just think of some low dose melatonin. So when we finally go to bed, we have a high amplitude or relative good release of that melatonin, which is a potent antioxidant for best results. So number one, to reduce muscle soreness, you gotta sleep. Okay, so you know we have to sleep, but let's keep building on that. Perhaps some non-obvious strategic choices that you know you might want to use for best results. Another one of those, which I've often used, especially as we get further out, is a nice warm bath. Warm bath would be beneficial for a couple reasons. One, we know if we take it a couple hours before we are getting ready for bed, it actually may help improve our sleep because essentially our body will release heat after that warm bath, so our core temperature drops, and our core temperature dropping will help us get better sleep. Because guess what? When we sleep, that's what our lowest body temperature is. But also from there, warm bath, what does it do? It helps deliver nutrients and oxygen, essentially through increasing blood flow to those working muscles. And as we repair the body, that's one of the most important things that could happen. It also can help calm us down, especially if we do a simple breathing practice when we're in the bath. Activate, as you probably know now, the parasympathetic nervous system. We don't want that fight or flight response. We want that relax and digest. So add a warm bath to the calendar. Try to do it a couple hours before you get ready for bed. And I guarantee you, or I won't guarantee you, can't do that. Don't want anybody after me, but it'll probably help. All right, so what do we have? We got that sleep, and how do we get better sleep? We got that warm bath, or there's some other things that we could do. You can get massage or compression. Both massage and compression has shown to alleviate some of the muscle soreness. People aren't really sure why massage works. It's one of those weird things that touch and stimulation tend to have a benefit. And it doesn't necessarily have caused changes in the muscle, but it does cognitively reduce our perception of pain and oftentimes does increase our feelings of flexibility, which is half the battle, especially what we're seeing with DOMS and some of the impact that it has on the central nervous system. We want the brain to kind of really know that it's safe. So if we get a little bit of compression, whether it's in those sleeves or tights, Normatec, whatever, you get a little bit of massage, even some self-massage, you'll probably notice that once you do that, it will help alleviate some of that soreness. All right, I know everybody's always looking for the magic potions when it comes to supplements and things like that, but before we get there, we're really gonna start with the simple concept of you have to nourish your body through food. After these hard efforts, you have essentially what's called increased intestinal permeability. Some might connect it to leaky gut. But all that to say, it becomes a little bit more important what you eat, instead of kind of going for the indulgences of the desserts, the hot dogs, the pizza, and the alcoholic drinks. There's a time for that, but let's try to limit it. From here, we really want to think about high quality proteins, which you typically often hear, things that are easy on the stomach, but because we have markers of inflammatory stress, that oxidative stress, let's think about the antioxidant as foods that we can consume that can make then our body produce its own natural antioxidant capabilities. So of course, think about getting those vegetables and those fruit in, and then think about certain supplements that might then pave the way for reducing that soreness. IOC, or the International Olympic Committee, there is some research put out on the supplement list that they have that seems to connect to better outcomes as it relates to muscle soreness. Some of those include tart cherry juice, which we've talked about before. There is some success linked to creatine, perhaps some omega-3s. Bromelain, which is a protease from pineapple, a little bit mixed, but you know how it goes. Then we have things like ginger, we keep building from there. Won't get too bogged down. I have a simple, more expansive list that you can reference and see if it works for you. But from there, do believe that eating well can help reduce muscle soreness and pain. because our body wants to rebuild itself. Our brain also, nervous system wants to relax, and through our food, we can work on both those things. So eat up. All right, another way, I know it might sound counterintuitive, but you can help reduce your muscle soreness through that excessive movement with just a little bit of movement with small tweaks. Of course, you could have light, easy, simple stretching and think about moving through different planes of motion, but you want to do exercise that isn't as intensive and wear and tear, let's say, on the body. So you probably don't want to go and hit a hard weightlifting session, but you might want to do simple, easy things that increase blood flow to the muscles that you used. So think about going on the elliptical, think about going for a nice easy swim if that's a little bit easier on the joints, and get the brain used to moving through those different ranges of motion to let your body know that it's safe. From there, you'll probably feel okay. You tend to start to feel a little bit better, and then you'll have a return, not just to running or whatever your activity may be again, but you'll get back to that next level and a continual improvement of how you want your fitness to go. So don't stop movement completely. Don't think complete cessation of movement is the only thing that you need to reduce the soreness. For some people, including myself, it actually makes it stick around a little longer. All right, so when it comes to alleviating muscle soreness, don't get too overwhelmed because, to be honest, science can't even completely explain why it's happening. So keep it simple. Just think of that period of time post-race as a small little example of a workout program in itself. Your goal is to engage in activities that we know that might help reduce your muscle soreness so you can return to sport, play, or just feel good as you take a break. So think about those things: sleep, nourish the body, of course includes proper hydration, eating well, and targeted supplements. Maybe get some massage. Use those compression boots if you have them, and massage guns, whatever it might be out there. Keep moving. It just builds up over time. So you ran 26.2, congratulate yourself. But don't think that being in pain has to continue. So stay focused, give yourself a pat on the back, and feel better soon.